This easy jump will kill you, and this is the waterfall trap. And here are the deadliest modern Minecraft traps. As your enemy chases you down a 1x1 hole, place a leaf block above you and waterlog it. Next, place water at your face and obsidian trap both yourself and your enemy together. Now, this trap may seem stupid because you guys will both die now, but the twist is that you brought a chorus fruit with you and can easily teleport out, while your enemy suffocates to death in the obsidian. This waterfall looks perfectly safe to jump into. You don't see any signs or banners holding the water up, but the moment you jump in, you fall straight through the water and land on spikes. That's because the water is actually floating on air, making it look safe when it's really a trap. The water is glitched that way using pistons and slime blocks to lead enemies to the location. You can hide slime blocks under moss carpets that are safe for you to land on, while your enemies get baited into the fake pool. Haha, get wrecked! Did you know that when a piston pushes a leaf block, it breaks it? That mechanic makes it possible to hide a tree slime launcher trap. The launcher sits hidden behind the leaves, but when you activate it, the slime blocks push straight through, and the pistons double extend, bouncing players into the air. At the same time, the floor beneath them pulls open, sending your enemy falling straight into the trap. A single mushroom can take out a fully geared player. Everyone knows that bone mealing a sapling grows a giant tree, but hardly anyone suspects a lone mushroom in the field. While being chased, just bone meal it into a giant mushroom, instantly blocking their path and sending them straight into your trap. Using doors to trap players is overpowered. If you place a door on top of a grass block powered by a redstone torch, the door will be automatically in the open position. That means you can build a whole row of these and then place them super quickly to create an instant wall. With one friend baiting players, just wait until the enemy runs past you, then spam the doors to block their path. In an instant, the wall is up and your enemies drop straight into the trap. This might be the smartest trap in Minecraft history. As I run across, I can make the jump with no problem. But when my enemy chases after me, this contraption launches sand right in front of the gap, blocking their jump and sending them straight into the dripstone pit below. You'll need a friend to help launch the sand with perfect timing, so that just after you pass, the sand only catches your pursuer. While most players use sand for their falling floor traps, gravel is quite underrated. Since fewer players expect it, you can disguise massive gravel traps in stony areas that will catch your enemies off guard. Most players use cobwebs to slow enemies by 75% and get free hits while they're stuck, but cobwebs are so common now that players know how to escape them easily. That's where berry bushes come in. They slow enemies by about 66%, and because they're unexpected, players are less likely to water bucket or dodge them. Instead, they'll just walk through, giving you plenty of free hits. This is a diorite staircase trap. It looks like just a normal diorite staircase upwards, but then you suddenly fall. Hidden among the solid diorite blocks are diorite walls, which you can't jump over. Since the walls blend perfectly with the rest of the staircase, your enemy won't realize what's happening until it's too late. However, by placing a block behind one of the walls, you create a small indent that lets you climb up safely, while your enemy just keeps sprinting forward and falls. This trap also works with other stone types like andesite and granite, so you can mix it up to keep it unpredictable. The only way to kill someone in creative mode is with the void. That's why YouTuber JudeLow built this contraption. Above this carpet are 24 chickens, all splashed with a wind-charged potion. When you press the button, lava is dispensed into the chickens, and each release a wind burst explosion on death. At the same time, the block under the player is removed, launching them downward at such extreme speed that they're blasted straight into the void. The momentum is so strong they can't even fly back up, making it possible to kill a creative mode player. This is the invisible vine trap. You're able to climb vines either by walking into it or by holding your jump button. Most players choose to walk into the vines, and that's exactly how we trap them. You can dig a hole behind the vine so that when someone tries to climb, they fall straight through. This might seem like a super obvious trap, but if you place leaves behind the vines, it blends in perfectly, making the gap nearly invisible. While you hold space to safely climb up, your enemy will walk forward and drop straight into the trap. If you wanted to obsidian trap someone back in the day, you could just place water and lava at their head, and they'd suffocate inside the newly formed obsidian. However, in 1.9, when crawling was introduced, the trick stopped working since the player would automatically enter the crawling position, which basically ruined the trap. Now a newer method was discovered. All you have to do is place a bed at their first feet. The bed places the bottom before the head, which lets you trap their feet. Then once you place the water and lava, obsidian forms to suffocate the player while not letting them enter the crawling position. This is a cobweb banner trap. You should never chase a player up this hill, otherwise you'll get hit by the push-pull trap. It's a quite simple trap to build. One row of pistons retracts blocks, and a second row pushes blocks out, shoving anyone climbing the hill straight off. It's easy to build, and if timed right, any player chasing you will get launched straight into your trap below. Normally, cobwebbing a player gives you time to land critical hits while they're struck. The problem is that they can easily escape, either by placing a water bucket or by quickly breaking the cobweb with their sword. But if you surround the cobweb with banners, it changes everything. The banner Banners block water placement and also make it harder for your opponent to see and break the cobweb. While they're trapped, they can't hit you, but you can still hit them. Don't go near these stone blocks. While they may seem perfectly safe, if you look closely, you'll see a player camouflaged into the blocks ready to hurt you. Camouflage skins don't work well on flat walls, but on diagonal walls, they blend in almost seamlessly. Most players use a stone skin, but it also works really well with a leaf skin in trees or a snow skin in cold biomes. And if you do make the mistake of walking past one of these skins, you have a high chance of getting knocked into a trap. The carpet trap is one of the most famous traps in Minecraft. It works by placing carpets on top of signs, and when you break a single sign, the whole floor comes crashing down. Lush caves are the perfect spot for this trap. With so many moss blocks around, you can camouflage moss carpets seamlessly into the floor. Replace a few blocks with carpets held up by signs, and wire it so pressing just one button breaks a sign, collapsing the entire floor beneath your enemy. Anyone chasing you will drop straight through, making it the perfect cave ambush. This is a drip leaf head hitter. If you try to jump normally, you'll smack your head on the drip leaf and fall straight into the trap. The trick is to jump and crouch at the same time, which lets you squeeze through to the other side. But your enemy won't know that, so while you make it across, they'll just hit their head and drop. This is a cruel mining trap. As you're chased into a 1x1 tunnel, break the block above your enemy, forcing them back into the standing position. Then place a pressure plate at their feet, a sign on top, and waterlog the sign. Now they're effectively stuck. The sign prevents them from right-clicking, and water makes mining super slow, and the pressure plate keeps the water in place so they can't swim away. While they're trapped, you're free to finish them off. The sand trap is one of the oldest traps in Minecraft. It works by stacking sand on top of blocks like signs. When enemies walk across, you only need to break a single sign, causing all the others to break and the entire sand platform to collapse beneath them. Best part is this trap can be scaled to any size, so if you're trying to trap a lot of people, you can build a huge area of sand that falls through. Everyone knows about the classic desert temple trap. Most players instantly dig down to break the TNT and disable it, but that instinct can be turned against them. The bottom floor of the desert temple can be replaced with a 3x3 piston pull trap. The moment someone tries to loot the temple, the pistons activate, the floor drops out, and they fall straight to their death. You can never be too prepared. If your main trap fails, always have a backup trap hidden inside your trap room. That way, just as your enemy thinks they've survived, you trigger a second trap, catching them completely off guard. Don't follow me into this lake! If you do, the water will slow you down, which will be the perfect chance to drop pointed dripstone right on top of you. It's a simple trap where one player acts as the bait and another activates the trap from above. By digging 2 blocks down, placing a bed, and then using a piston to push a block into you, your head ends up right at ground level. Add a pumpkin on your head, and you can blend in with the surrounding pumpkins. Now when players walk past, they won't suspect a thing until you punch them straight into a knockback trap. This is a fake water trap. It looks like a safe pool to land in, but the moment you jump, the water is replaced with blue concrete. The trick is simple. Just set up pistons with blue concrete right under the water. As soon as your enemy dives in, activate the pistons, and instead of water, they'll hit solid ground and die. Instead of setting up a knockback trap on land, try building one in the water. Knockback is actually even stronger in water, which makes this trap deadly. The design is simple. A fence gate blocking the water with banners down a hole that leads straight to dripstone. Here's how it works. Run into a lake and your enemy will follow. That's when you hit them backwards into the trap. The trap is impossible to see from the enemy's perspective. One moment they're chasing after you, the next they're falling. This parkour jump is impossible. That's because I'm not standing on a full block. I'm on a slab placed on top of a honey block. Normally you can't jump when standing on honey, and for some reason, even with a slab on top, you still can't jump. This lets you build a jump that looks simple but can't be done because of the honey underneath. When you're being chased, just avoid the honey by jumping around it, but your enemies will be sprint jumping straight at you, trying to catch up, and end up falling into your trap. This is a 5x1 flat ground trap. It works with pistons and slime blocks that almost instantly raise blocks from the ground. While you're being chased, activate it and your enemy gets blocked by the pistons, and the floor beneath them is pulled away, dropping them straight into your trap. But since this design has become predictable, players came up with an upgrade, the pizza flat ground trap. It's the same concept but built diagonally. With double extending pistons, it blocks your pursuer and pulls the ground out from under them. This is a sky-based piston trap. At first, it looks like nothing more than a normal staircase leading way up into the sky. But near the top, a hidden piston is waiting. As your enemy chases you up the long climb, they're not paying attention. While running ahead, you place a pressure plate and stare at the top. When your pursuer rushes up, they step right on it, instantly triggering the piston that shoves the block out from under them, sending them plummeting to their death. Do not climb this waterfall. Normally, if you block off a source water block, the water just drains slowly, which gives time to react. But not with this trap. Here, the moment the water is removed, an observer detects it and triggers sticky pistons that instantly clear every water block at once. With no warning, the player drops straight into a dripstone pit below. The classic 4-iron trapdoor can can actually be upgraded. Normally, it's considered pretty weak. If you get stuck inside, you can just break out with a pickaxe. But here's the twist, you can use it as bait. If you trap yourself inside, other players will rush over, thinking you're an easy kill. That's when you dig down to activate the real trap, dropping them straight into a pit while they think they've got you cornered. If you're being chased, you can quickly dig down. If your opponent digs directly onto you, you can quickly obsidian trap them by placing a wall block first, then obsidian their head and feet. The wall block is key. It lets you trap their feet while they're in the crawling position. And if they don't dig exactly where you expected, you can still trap them by placing a single water block, then dropping 3 lava buckets to form obsidian around them. Once they're stuck, you can even place a chest under their feet, slightly exposing their hitbox so you can land free hits while they can't escape. This is a head hitter jump. If you just walk forward, you won't make it and fall. You have to jump to make it through. Here's a trick. If you use a tree, its leaves act as the head hitter. Most players will just walk straight through and fall right into the pit. But you, knowing the head hitter is there, can make the jump and get across safely. To sell the trick even harder, build a nether portal in front, disguising the trap so even players who know the head hitter fall for it. Anvils are the deadliest trap in Minecraft! At first, it might seem easy to survive one falling from the sky, especially with a totem of undying. But the real danger starts when you're trapped in a small space and tons of anvils drop at once. In this situation, ender pearls won't save you because the anvils block them. And chorus fruits can be neutralized by making it, so there are no valid blocks to teleport to. Your only hope is popping through totems until the anvils end. But if the anvils are stacked all the way to build height, you're not getting out alive. If you drop an item and offhand it at the same time, you'll create a ghost item. You can then grab this ghost item, and when you try to place it, the block instantly disappears. However, with the right timing, you can still jump on it. Normally, a block with a slab on top is impossible to jump onto, but with a ghost block, you can make that jump. Now, if you use this glitch while being chased, your enemy won't see the block placed and will think you made the jump legit, only to fail it themselves and fall to their death. Most players use tripwire hooks on the ground, but it's actually more effective in the air. That's because floating string is very difficult to see until you get really close to it. While you can easily run under the string, your enemy, who's sprint jumping to chase you, will hit it mid-jump. That triggers the tripwire, and suddenly the sand beneath them collapses, dropping them straight into your trap. If you try to make this one block jump, a bed will suddenly get placed, causing you to fall. This is because there's floating string in the air with a player hidden below the hole. Since string is almost invisible, it gives them the perfect target to place the bed, blocking your jump and sending you straight down. If you're standing above this water column, you're already dead. The moment the lever is flipped, TNT shoots upward through the water. And because the column is so tall, the TNT finishes its 3-second fuse right as it reaches the surface, exploding instantly with no time to react. You can bait players into jumping over the column right as the trap is triggered, catching them completely off guard. This is one of the oldest Minecraft traps. If you run straight into this water, you'll survive. But if you run and jump, you'll fall right through the water and die. The trick works because enemies usually sprint jump to chase you faster, but in this case, it'll cause them to jump straight to their death. To make the trap more convincing, place sugarcane in front to hide the signs holding up the water. If you look down and place a door, it actually gets placed behind you. That means if someone is chasing you, you can block their jump without even looking at them. YouTuber JudeLow used this trick in a ravine by extending it and lining the bottom with spikes. As he jumped across, he placed doors behind him, blocking the gap and causing his enemies to fall straight to their death. This is the secret mole trap. It's just a big hole with a tiny safe ledge inside and a friend hiding nearby. When players chase you, you jump in and land safely, making it look like you failed to trap them. Naturally, your enemies will walk right up to the edge to see what you're doing. That's when your friend strikes, punching them straight into the hole to their death. The only downside is you actually need friends to pull it off. This trap is secretly genius. It starts with you getting knocked into your own trap. Naturally, your enemy looks down to see where you fell, but that's the setup. As they're distracted, the ground beneath them shifts, and they're the ones who end up falling straight into the trap. You might think you're safe here, but you're not! Out of nowhere, a double piston extender shoots from the side of the mountain, shoving you as the floor drops beneath you. In an instant, you're falling to your death. The crazy part is the redstone behind this isn't even that complicated when you see it from the side. Yet, the trap is incredibly powerful. Just lure your enemy near the trap and dig down. While they're right on top of you, activate the trap to push them right in. This is a 200 IQ trap. At first glance, it's just a simple wooden staircase with a kill chamber. So obvious, it almost looks like a joke. You run up first and fall through, making it seem like you've fallen into your own trap. Naturally, your opponent rushes in to finish you off from below, but that's when you place a redstone torch to trigger the real mechanism. A piston extends, shoving them into a hidden hole and sending them to their death. Everyone knows you sink through powdered snow, unless you're wearing leather boots, which let you walk safely across. But here's the problem. If your enemy sees you in leather boots, they'll instantly know it's a trap. That's why the real trick is to use dyed leather boots. As you approach your trap, swap your iron boots for white leather ones, and no one will notice. Or you run across, your enemy will sprint after you, sink straight down, and die. This jump looks simple, but for some reason, everyone keeps falling to their death. Meanwhile, the builder makes it across with no problem. So, what's going on? If you look closely, you'll see chain blocks placed in just the right way to blend perfectly into the deep slate. From straight on, it's almost invisible, so anyone running at full speed will smack right into it and fall. And it doesn't just work with deep slate. You can also use copper chains with acacia wood, or even brown stained glass panes with jungle wood. Just make sure you remember to jump around the chains, or you'll be the one falling. One of the simplest yet most effective traps is a knockback trap. All you need is a hole lined with banners, which prevents players from placing blocks as they fall, and some dripstone at the bottom to finish them off. Then just knock them in using a knockback enchanted weapon, and that's it. This trap is completely hidden by flowers. Normally, players will use a low tree as a head hitter to sprint faster while chasing you. That's where you set the trap. Dig a hole right where they'll be head hitting. On its own, that'd be obvious, but by planting a bunch of flowers, the hole blends right in. Now when your enemy tries to head hitter towards you, they won't speed up. They'll just fall straight into the spiky pit. Did you know your hitbox can be completely hidden by a tall flower? If someone tries to melee you, they'll just break the flower instead of hitting you. With enough flowers, you can stand still, keep placing them down, and become basically invisible. And here's where it gets evil. While enemies are piling on trying to hit you, a friend can pull a lever to activate a trap, dropping everyone straight to the floor beneath your flower. This is a piñata trap. You teleport yourself into a cobweb, making it look like the perfect chance for your enemies to crit you out like a piñata. But that's the bait. While they're distracted, your teammates activate the trap. Slime blocks launch them upward, and the floor opens beneath you. Now your team can use knockback punches to send the enemies straight into the pit, or they're focused on you. Bubble columns are one of the best ways to travel quickly upwards, but you can also create one of the deadliest traps with them. Just spam a bunch of harming potions at the top of the bubble column, and then block it off with obsidian, and whoever has to swim up next will be a goner. You can actually dispense unlimited boats into the same block, and if a player bumps into them, they all collide and explode outward randomly. But pro trapper JudeLow discovered something much better. If you stack a ton of boats, position them with a fence using pistons, and then push them into the corner of a solid block so just a tiny piece of their hitbox sticks out, something wild happens. When a player touches that tiny hitbox, all those stacked boats collide into the player, launching them backward extremely fast. If you're holding a spear, the knockback launches you so fast that you can one-shot enemies before they even react. You can hide one of these launchers inside a waterfall, so anyone trying to swim up gets blasted backwards into a pit. Or build a lava pit with one safe obsidian block. When someone jumps in it to land on it, the boat hitbox touches them, and they get thrown straight into dripstone below. Don't step on this TNT minecart! This is because it's not just one, but hundreds stacked into this one block. You're able to cram as many TNT minecarts as you want into a single block, and when you touch it, the TNT minecarts will all go off together and launch you light years into the sky. It's not a practical way to travel, since you have to get loads of sand, gunpowder, and iron for the TNT minecarts, but if you're in creative, it's a cool experiment. This trap only activates if you try to disarm it. Most players avoid stepping on pressure plates, but in this case, stepping on it does nothing. The real trap is when you break it. The pressure plate drops into a hopper minecart below, which triggers a chain of TNT minecarts.